The ring of the gavel is still ringing in Christine's ears. Court is in session. Those 5 words weigh more heavily than any vow she's ever received from Kody. She sits there, hands joined on the chilled table, the soft hum of the fluorescent light overhead filling space in between beats. The judge stern, the crowd tight. And in this moment, the truth comes to her. It's not about marriage now. It's about truth. Kody shuns her gaze, feigning to read the pile of documents in front of him. His jaw clenches, his tie fastidiously straight, like a man struggling to maintain grip on something that's already lost. To his right, Robin sits mum, too mum, her countenance serene but her hands wriggling. The sort of serenity that conceals guilt. Christine looks over her shoulder, where Janelle and Mary sit. 2 women, who were once her sisters, now uncertain which side they're on. The air is charged with history, years of family dinners, children, laughter, and betrayal. Christine breathes slowly as the judge starts. This court will hear the case of Brown versus Brown, in relation to emotional misconduct, financial manipulation, and violation of marital trust. Kody sucks in his breath, like he never thought those words would sound so nasty spoken out loud. Christine simply looks ahead, unflinching. She's waited too long for this. Mrs. Brown, the judge says. You may proceed. Christine stands carefully, smoothing papers, her voice shaking at first. Your Honor. I am not here for revenge. I am here because I was taught for years that love is sacrifice. But what if sacrifice turns into silence? The courtroom falls silent. Her voice is stronger, more steady. For decades, I stood beside a man who vowed fairness, honesty, and faith. And yet, behind every vow, there was another lie. Kody adjusts uncomfortably, his attorney leans in, mouthing something. Robin glances down. Christine continues, her gaze still fixed on Kody. I was promised we were equals. But I discovered, equality doesn't exist when there is only one voice heard. The judge nods. Mr. Brown, your response. Kody rises, his normally confident demeanor wavering. Your Honor, he starts, voice low but even, this isn't about dishonesty. It's about family. My decisions were for stability, not deception. He looks over at Christine. She knew the lifestyle that we were living. We all did. But sometimes, people alter the rules when they cease to believe in faith. Christine quietly snorts. Janelle averts her gaze, refusing to look at Kody. Kody goes on, attempting to remain calm. I didn't betray anybody. I just attempted to keep my family intact when everyone else began to pull away. Christine's attorney stands up. So why, then, he says, did you put the family money into an account in Robin's name without telling the other wives? The courtroom gasps. Robin's face goes white. Kody's lips compress. That's not what this is about, he growls. This is personal. You wouldn't get it. The judge's gavel comes down. Order. But the harm is done, the secret is out. Christine's voice breaks the silence. Not personal. Kody, that was money for all of us, our children's futures. You told us it was family savings. Now it's gone. Kody's face becomes cold. You're twisting this, Christine. You always do. Robin finally breaks in, voice small. Kody, maybe they should have known. Everyone looks at her. Kody's jaw drops open, he didn't think she would say anything. Robin, he says icily, we agreed to keep quiet until what? Christine cuts in. Until all that you labored on our backs vanishes? The judge chews her lip. Enough. We will have a short recess. The gavel comes down. Christine leans back in her chair, quivering hands. For an instant, her hard shell fissures. She glances at Janelle. Do you believe him? She barely whispers. Janelle lets out a sound of frustration, her eyes weeping from exhaustion. I do not know what to believe any longer. Behind them, Mary stands alone, arms folded. She's witnessed this war before, but not like this. For years, she tried to be loyal. But seeing Kody now, even she feels something cracking. Christine breathes deeply. He always said love was about faith. But perhaps love is about truth. The recess bell rings. In the hallway outside the courtroom, cameras flash. Reporters yell questions. Christine. Did Kody really hide the money? Is this the end of the sister wives' family? She dismisses them all, making her way towards the hallway window. The glass mirrors her face, exhausted, but tougher than ever. A voice whispers behind her. You think this will make you happy? Christine spins around. Kody is in front of her, his voice low and menacing. You think ruining me will stop the pain? She takes a step closer, voice gentle but intense. I'm not attempting to tear you down, Kody. I'm attempting to liberate myself from the individual you convinced me that I must be. They lock eyes, all those years of love, betrayal, and silence condensed into one glance. Kody takes a step back, the veneer of control slipping just a little. You'll regret this, he whispers. Christine doesn't flinch. Maybe. But at least this time, I'll regret something that's mine. The hallway doors swing open as both lawyers return. The tension follows them like a shadow. The next round of testimony will reveal more than anyone expects, especially Robin. As Christine walks back toward the courtroom, she whispers under her breath, let the truth speak for itself. The camera, or in your film, the tone of narration, lingers here, slow, heavy, emotional, as the door shuts behind her and the sound recedes. The second day of court unfolds under drizzly skies. The courthouse towered above like a reserved giant, weighty, motionless, and observant. Cameras converge on the steps, flashes hitting the marble face as Christine steps inside, shoulders squared, lips pursed. She doesn't wave. She doesn't smile. The world can dream all it desires, but today, she's not the woman from the reality show. Today, she's a woman fighting for her reality. Inside, Kody sits at the defense table, his face passively neutral. His suit is immaculate, his hands calm, but his eyes betray him. He's not sleeping. Outside, the charming patriarch of the universe continues to spin his charm, but inside, there his charm does not work. Christine's attorney, a tranquil but incisive woman named Attorney Marks, thumbs through her papers. Today, she murmurs, we unmask the transfers. Christine nods, her jaw tightening. For weeks, she'd gathered evidence, bank statements, text messages, late-night receipts from accounts she didn't even know existed until the divorce paperwork began. The judge enters. We'll resume proceedings in Brown versus Brown. Mark stands. Your Honor, we'd like to call our first witness, Mrs. Robin Brown. The courtroom whispers. Robin pauses before rising, making her way to the witness stand. Her hands tremble a bit as she affirms on oath. Kody doesn't glance at her. Christine sits silently, her heart racing. This is the moment she's dreading, and has been waiting for. Marks approaches the stand. Mrs. Brown, can you tell me your relationship to accounts held under your name? Robin's tone is gentle. They were family accounts. Kody told me it was just easier to handle everything collectively. Collectively? Marks's brow furrows. Did the other wives have any knowledge of this setup? Robin lowers her head. No. He said it would only complicate things if everyone had access. Kody fidgets in his seat, mumbling something to his lawyer. Marks continues. So, Mrs. Brown, you had exclusive access to funds intended for all the wives? Robin nods slightly, her eyes shining. I didn't know it was so much money. He said temporary. That he'd roll it back when things calmed down. Christine breathes slowly, her heart thumping in her ears. The courtroom seems to be closing in on her. Kody's attorney rises to stand. Objection. This is not pertinent to the emotional damages claim. The judge brushes an eyebrow upward. Overruled. Proceed. Marks moves closer to Robin. Mrs. Brown, did you know that at this point in time, Mrs. Christine Brown was having trouble affording college tuition for her daughter? Robin pauses. Yes. Kody told us we couldn't assist because the family budget was not flexible enough. Christine's lip quavers. The audience gasps softly. Marks draws back, voice even. No further questions. Robin glances at Kody as she steps down, but he does not glance back. His jaw is clenched, his eyes cold. The next witness is called, Janelle. Her arrival shifts the entire atmosphere. Janelle's always been the rock, practical, loyal, diplomatic. But when she steps up onto the stand, you can see in her eyes that something deep within her has changed as well. Mrs. Janelle Brown, Marks continues, can you tell the court what you learned last fall? Janelle clears her throat. I learned that Kody had put the title on our shared property into his name alone, without my permission. The judge tilts slightly forward. Without permission? Yes, Your Honor, Janelle replies, voice breaking. We had built that property together. I was paying the taxes. But when I went to renew the papers, they said my name wasn't on there anymore. The courtroom gasps once again. Christine has tears in her eyes. She looks down, biting her lip. Kody finally says a word. That's not true. You gave me permission, Janelle. Janelle shakes her head in slow motion. No, Kody. I trusted you. And you used that trust to wipe me out. The judge calls for order once more, but tension doesn't dissipate. Christine observes Kody carefully. He's enraged now, the mask cracking. For all those years, he dominated every story, but here, sworn in, his words ring tinny. Kody's attorney stands. Your Honor, my client has documentation to show he was in legal limits. We have signed documents. Christine mutters under her breath, let's see them. The documents are produced, and as quickly, Christine's attorney is on his feet. Your Honor, these documents are not dated. And the signature, take a good look. That is not Janelle's writing. The judge frowns, studying them. Mr. Brown, do you have evidence of these signatures' authenticity? Kody stutters, they were scanned, she signed them electronically. Did you see her sign? He pauses. No, but she verbally agreed. Christine closes her eyes. Robin looks off once more. The silence is deafening, the judge lets out a sigh. We'll take a 10-minute recess. Mr. Brown, stay on standby for questioning. As the gavel falls, Christine rises slowly, moving toward the hallway once more. Her attorney stays with her, but Christine motions that she requires a moment to herself. She stands against the icy wall, tears brimming. Out of the narrow window, she gazes at the cloudy sky, dense, somber, as if imitating all that within her. Robin emerges a few minutes later, her high heels tapping against the ground gently. She pauses, then says, Christine. I never meant it to come to this. I believed he loved us equally. Christine wipes away her tears, her voice shaking. He loved control, Robin. That's all he ever loved. Robin's lip trembles. He said you hated me. Christine smiles gently, not because she is amused, but because she is exhausted. He needed us to hate each other, so we wouldn't catch on to what he was doing. For the first time, Robin is almost broken. I believed him. I did too, Christine says in a hushed tone. For a long time. Recess ends. Everyone goes back to the courtroom. The judge coughs. Before we take a break for the day, both sides will have their evidence logs updated by 5 p.m. Tomorrow, we hear from outside witnesses, including financial planners and family friends. Kody tenses. He hadn't seen that coming. Christine sees the fear flash in his eyes for the first time. He knows it's coming. The court rises and recesses, and Christine slowly gathers her papers. The burden of the day weighs heavy on her shoulders, but for the first time in years, she feels something different. Not peace. Not happiness. Something more like strength. She looks over at Kody. He stands with his attorney and a silence wall. Their eyes lock, and in that moment, words aren't necessary. This fight is no longer legal. It's personal. And tomorrow, the truth will dig deeper. Morning sunlight streams through the high courthouse windows, casting pale gold shadows on the floor. Christine comes in softly, her footsteps firm but her gaze tired. The world outside has long taken sides, headlines shout, polygamy empire in turmoil, and social media argues back and forth about whether or not Christine's bravery is strength or betrayal. She no longer cares. Today isn't about the world. It's about truth. Within the courtroom, Kody sits beside his attorney, feigning study of notes. But the shake in his hand betrays him. He knows who is taking the stand today. And he's not prepared. The judge initiates, voice steady and authoritative. We will continue the proceedings of Brown versus Brown. The court will hear testimony from relatives. Christine looks over toward the back of the courtroom, and there, sitting anxiously with hands clenched, is Isabel, her daughter. Just the sight of her there is enough to cause Christine's heart to hurt. When Isabel steps up onto the stand, the courtroom becomes quiet. Her voice comes soft at first, hesitant. I didn't want to be here, she confesses. But I have to tell them what I saw. Christine catches her breath. Kody slumps forward, scowling. Your Honor, he interrupts, this is emotional manipulation. She's just a kid. The judge looks up, an eyebrow tilting towards his eye. She's an adult, Mr. Brown. And she's a witness. Isabel swallows and continues. When Mom was ill, Dad didn't come see her. He said he was too busy. But I discovered he was at Robin's house the entire time. A ripple of murmurs runs through the room. Christine's eyes well up. She'd sworn to herself she'd not cry in court, but hearing it from her daughter stings differently. Kody tightens his fists. That's not true. I called every day. Isabel shakes her head. No. You didn't. I waited. Every night, I waited for your call. Kody opens his mouth, but nothing comes out. For the first time, words are not available to him. Christine dabs at a tear, softly whispering, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Isabel regards her, shaking. It's not your fault, Mom. Marks, Christine's attorney, advances slowly. Isabel, did you ever hear your father mention anything regarding money? Or the accounts of the family? Isabel hesitates slowly. He once told me that whatever he did was to defend us. But when I asked him why Mom couldn't withdraw from her savings, he said she didn't have to. That she had him. A painful silence. Christine drops her eyes, shaking her head. That one sentence, she didn't need to, cuts deeper than anything. Kody leans forward to his lawyer, muttering harshly, but it's too late. The damage is done. The judge appears sympathetic but stern. Thank you, Ms. Brown. You may step down. As Isabel walks back to her seat, she catches her father's gaze, a mixture of anger, guilt, and something close to fear. She turns away. Then, to everyone's surprise, Christine's lawyer stands again. Your Honor, we'd like to call one more witness, Mr. Michael Parker. Kody's eyes widen. Who? The doors open, and a man in his late 40s enters, confident, dressed sharply. Christine recognizes him immediately. Michael had been their previous family accountant. He struts to the stand, swears in, and sits down serenely. Mr. Parker, Mark starts, can you describe your prior relationship with the Brown family? Yes, he replies, tone even. I handled their shared finances for approximately 8 years, until I was abruptly dismissed by Mr. Brown. Why were you dismissed? Kody's attorney objects, speculation, overruled, the judge responds. Answer the question. Michael looks at Kody. Because I inquired about missing money too much. The court explodes. Cameras snap, murmurs swell, the judge pounds the gavel. Order! Order! Kody's attorney leaps up. That's ridiculous. This man has no evidence. Michael opens a folder. Actually, I do. He puts down some papers on the table of evidence, bank transfers, signed permissions, secret trust accounts. Christine's attorney pushes them toward the judge. Your Honor, Mark states, these indicate $180,000 transferred into an account, in Mr. Brown's name, over the period when he stated the family was financially strapped. The judge reads through the documents, his brow furrowed deep. Mr. Brown, can you tell me about this? Kody's voice trembles. Those were investments. Family investments. Christine's attorney responds quietly, then why did you transfer them after you sought legal separation from Mrs. Brown? The courtroom is silent. Kody bangs his fist on the table. This is manipulation. She's manipulating everyone against me. Christine finally gets to her feet. Her voice is low, shaking, but strong. No, Kody. You did that yourself. Christine speaks louder. Years I spent hearing how to trust you, follow you, never question. Years I spent building our home, raising our kids, standing up for you when people called you selfish. But now I can see, it wasn't faith. It was control. Kody appears enraged. You don't know what leadership is. Christine's voice shatters, tears flowing freely now. Leadership isn't about taking, it's about giving. And you gave only agony. Robin begins crying silently, covering her face with her hands. Janelle stares straight ahead, her face pale. Even Mary, sitting near the back, looks like she might stand and walk out. The judge raises a hand. We'll take a short recess. As everyone disperses, Christine sits quietly, breathing heavily. Her lawyer places a hand on her shoulder. You did well, she says softly. Christine nods weakly. It doesn't feel like winning. Sometimes, Marks answers, the truth isn't victory feeling, until it's done. In the hallway, reporters pack the hallway. Kody goes out first, flashing with anger at the cameras. This is character assassination. You're all seeing one side. Christine steps out a few minutes later. She says nothing to the shouting reporters, but as she walks by, one of them yells, Christine, what do you want out of all this? She pauses, gazes directly at the lens, and speaks softly, peace. Then she gets up and leaves. Later that evening, Christine sits alone in her car outside the courthouse. The weight of the day is crushing her chest. She scrolls through her phone, viewing old pictures, smiling faces, family nights, babies in her arms, holidays that seemed complete. Each photo seems someone else's life now. The screen goes hazy as tears well up in her eyes. How did we come to this? She whispers. Her phone vibrates, a text from Janelle, you were courageous today. Don't let him spin this. Christine smiles weakly through the tears. She types in response, tomorrow's his time to take it all. And she's correct. Because tomorrow, the prosecution will share the last piece of evidence, something Christine's been keeping close to her heart for months. Something that's a secret Kody never thought would come to light. She gazes upward at the black sky, whispers to herself, one more day. It's day 4 in court, but a month has gone by. The faces are etched, the whispers now a murmur, and the silence stinging. The media dubs it, the sister wives showdown, but within these walls, this is anything but play. This is the shattering of a family, and the truth is going to tear through what remains. Christine sits quietly in her normal seat, fingers laced tightly together. In the back of the room, Kody appears pale, fidgety, and sleep-deprived. His confidence, his shield, is beginning to crumble with each witness, each inquiry, each glance from the judge. The judge clears her throat. Court will now reconvene. Mrs. Brown, your attorney may continue. Lawyer Marks takes her stand, her voice firm. Your Honor, we will bring proof today that attests to financial deception and manipulation, and something even more intimate. Christine's gut clenches. She knows what's about to happen. She's been dreading this moment, but she also knows it's the only way to finish this war for good. Marks continues, pacing slowly. Over the past few days, we've discussed hidden accounts and missing funds. But now, we'll look at why those funds were hidden, and where they went. Kody shifts in his seat. His lawyer whispers, but he doesn't move. Marks opens a folder. Your Honor, we have bank statements verifying monthly payments, not to family members, not to household needs, but to a private address in a woman's name in Flagstaff, Arizona. The courtroom explodes. Reporters write furiously, the audience gasps. Christine's pulse accelerates. She recognizes that name. Marks continues calmly. This woman, identified as Laura Jensen, is not a relative. Our investigation revealed she was in contact with Mr. Brown during the period of his alleged financial difficulties. Kody slams his fist on the table. That's enough. You're twisting everything. The judge snaps, Mr. Brown, sit down. Christine stares at him, eyes wide. Who is she, Kody? He glares at her, guilt, panic, and pride all vying on his face. She's a business associate. That's all. Marks raises another paper. A business associate you sent $3,000 each month to, described as personal support. Robin gasps out loud. Janelle puts her hand over her mouth. Even Mary appears stunned. Christine whispers, personal support. The silence is agony. Kody attempts to speak, his voice shaking. She was someone I assisted, after she lost her husband. Christine's voice cracks. And you did this with our money? He does not reply. Marks moves forward. Mr. Brown, please confirm, was this woman in a romantic relationship with you at the time of your marriage? Kody scowls at her. That's none of your business. The judge leans forward. It is this court's business if financial impropriety and emotional betrayal are intertwined, Mr. Brown. Answer the question. There is a momentary pause. The world comes to stand still. Kody breathes shakily. It was complicated. Christine's hands turn icy. Her breath hitches. You were with her, she whispers. He glances down. I didn't plan it, Christine's voice swells, raw and trembling. You didn't plan it. You planned everything, Kody. You planned every lie, every excuse, every sermon about loyalty, while you were constructing another life in secret behind my back. The courtroom erupts in sound. The judge thunders her gavel. Order. But too late, the cat is out of the bag. Christine gasps for air. She struggles to steady herself, but the room is oppressive, swaying. Marks places a hand on her shoulder. Do you want to go on? Christine nods feebly. Yes. He always claimed he had nothing to hide. Let's show him. Marks points to the bailiff. Your Honor, we respectfully ask the court to have Exhibit 12 played, a phone call between Mr. Brown and Ms. Jensen, last November. Kody's eyes grow wide. No. That was personal. The judge nods to the bailiff. Go ahead. The courtroom falls silent as the audio plays. Kody's calm, suave voice, you know I can't leave them all at once. It would ruin the image. Just wait, I'll transfer the money soon. Then we can start over. A gasp runs through the courtroom. Christine's eyes brim with tears. I swear to you, Laura, when this is done, I'll give you the life you deserve. The tape ends. The silence is oppressive. Christine glares at Kody, her words almost a whisper. You told me those same words, 15 years ago. Kody's mouth opens, but nothing emerges. Robin leaps to her feet, shaking. You said that to me, too. Kody takes a step back to face her. Robin, Don't what? She wails. Act like I didn't know. Act like I didn't catch you creeping out late at night. She breaks into tears. I believed you were making things right for us. But you were secretly keeping her. The judge glowers. Mr. Brown, is there something else you'd like to say? Kody's voice trembles. I loved my family. I just wanted something different. Christine whispers, you wanted freedom. But you stole mine instead. He gazes at her, eyes brimming with regret that arrives too late. Christine, you must understand, she interrupts him. No, Kody. You must listen. You can't construct love on a runaway. You can't purchase loyalty with deception. The judge interrupts, voice firm but gentle. We'll have a short recess before closing arguments. When the gavel comes down, Christine slumps slightly in her seat, sobbing openly now. Janelle grabs her hand and hugs it. Robin sits still, staring blankly at the ground. Kody exits hastily, flanked by his attorney, blinding flashbulbs encircling him. His face, so haughty and untouchable just hours before, now resembles a man with nowhere to hide. Christine brushes tears from her face. I didn't want it to end like this, she says softly. Janelle shakes her head. It was always going to end like this. He just never thought it would happen. They sit in silence, the air thick with grief and strange relief. Minutes later, the bailiff calls everyone back. The judge speaks. We'll proceed with final testimonies tomorrow morning. Both parties are to rest their cases by noon. As everyone begins to leave, Christine stays seated for a moment, staring at the empty witness stand, the place where the truth finally had a voice. She mutters to herself, you can't silence the truth, no matter how many times you hide it. Robin glides past her, stopping only long enough to say, I'm sorry. Christine regards her, not angrily, but wearily. You don't need to apologize. You were a prisoner too, just in a prettier cage. Robin nods, crying openly. Christine collects her papers, standing upright again. The storm has passed, but the aftermath remains, and tomorrow, the verdict will determine what is left of this shattered family. She steps out into the chilly evening air, the courthouse lighting up behind her, the cacophony of reporters fading into the distance. For the first time in years, she doesn't feel like she's fleeing. She's heading towards something new, unknown, but hers. The courthouse is different the next morning. Not quieter. Not louder. Just heavier, as if everyone senses something definitive going down. Tension hangs in the air, mixed with a fatigue that results from too many tears and too little rest. Christine enters wearing a plain navy blue sundress. No makeup. No show. Just her, raw, steady, ready. She navigates the sea of reporters, flashes exploding like firecrackers, but she does not blink. Not today. Kody is already seated inside. He seems smaller somehow, as if the pride that used to make him life-size has finally disintegrated. His eyes are bloodshot, his shoulders hunched over. For the first time, he seems a man who knows he has lost something he can never recreate. The judge sits down. This court is now in session for final arguments in Brown versus Brown. Attorney Marks stands first. Her voice is soothing, but her tone is like a knife. Your Honor, over the past week, we've seen evidence of manipulation, financial deceit, and emotional harm. This is not about punishing a man for falling out of love, it's about holding him accountable for how he broke those who loved him. My client, Christine Brown, stood for years in silence while her worth was diminished in the name of family unity. Today, she's asking not for vengeance, but for dignity. Christine holds back tears, watching. Marks goes on. We respectfully request that the court grant her fair share of marital property and sole decision-making authority over her children. Because she has already given enough, years, loyalty, trust. A murmur travels through the courtroom. Kody's attorney, Mr. Dalton, steps forward. His voice is low, measured. Your Honor, my client acknowledges errors. He acknowledges emotional blunders. But he also created this family from scratch. Every home, every memory, he constructed them. Let's not make one mistake the defining characteristic of a lifetime of devotion. Christine's jaw clenching. The word devotion is an insult. Dalton points to her. Mr. Brown never had malicious intentions. He was a man beset by expectations, 4 wives' husband, numerous children's father. He lost his way, yes, but he never ceased to love his family. The courtroom is silent. Even the judge doesn't flinch. Christine closes her eyes, recalling each time she remained quiet just to maintain peace, each time she smiled as her heart fractured further. The judge folds her hands. Before I make my ruling, Mrs. Brown, is there something you would like to say? Christine rises, moving slowly. The room disappears. There is only her and the truth now. She clears her throat. For so long, I believed that love was sacrifice. I believed loyalty was losing yourself bit by bit to make someone else whole. But I realized that's not love, that's fear masquerading as devotion. Her voice trembles a little but becomes stronger with each word. I don't despise Kody. I truly don't. I feel sorry for him. Because he doesn't even know what he's lost, not money, not dominance, but the one thing you can't reclaim once it's lost, trust. A tear streams down her cheek, but she doesn't conceal it. I'm not here to win. I'm here to close the book he opened and start my own. She gazes straight at Kody. You once said I was replaceable. But here's the truth, Kody, I never was. You just stopped looking at me. A profound silence ensues. No cameras, no murmurs. Just pure emotion. The judge nods slowly. Thank you, Mrs. Brown. She glances down at her papers. After examining all testimony and evidence, this court rules in favor of the plaintiff, Christine Brown. A swift inhalation rings out in the room. The judge speaks on, stern but equitable. Full custody of minor children is assigned to Mrs. Brown. Marital property will be split 50-50, but the Flagstaff property in dispute shall remain in sole possession. Court is adjourned. Gavel falls. Christine's eyes shut. Relief washes over her, but so does sorrow. It's done. Really done. Reporters surge forward. Microphones thrust upward like spears. Kody. What do you have to say about the verdict? Christine, how are you feeling after this long struggle? Christine walks by them silently, her face serene but her eyes brimming. Behind her, Kody says something to his attorney. His voice cracks. She was never meant to leave me like this. Outside, the world seems brighter, almost fantastical. Christine breathes in, the first one in years that doesn't ache. Janelle greets her on the courthouse steps, coffee cup in hand. It's done, she says softly. Christine nods. Yeah. Finally. They sit on the steps, passing cars, and the sun on their faces. Janelle smiles weakly. You think he'll ever get it? Christine shrugs. No. But that's not my problem anymore. There is a few moments of silence before Christine laughs quietly. You know what's ironic? I thought this verdict would be wonderful. But it just makes me free. Janelle gazes at her. Freedom is happiness, Christine. It just takes a while to recognize it. Later, Christine stands beside her car, observing as the sun sets, coloring the sky orange and gold. She takes out her phone and leaves a rapid-fire message for her fans and supporters, not as a television personality, but herself. I want to say thank you to all the people who reminded me that telling your truth isn't betrayal. It's survival. No matter how dark things get, keep walking. Because sooner or later, you'll find yourself again, and you'll know you were never lost. She pauses the recording, smiling gently to herself. In another neighborhood of town, Kody sits by himself in his big empty house. The quiet that surrounds him feels like punishment. He glances at the wedding pictures still hanging on the wall, faces smiling out at a happiness that no longer is. He says to himself very softly, "I just wanted to keep everyone together." But even he realizes, it wasn't togetherness that he craved. It was control. And control, once lost, can never be recovered. The camera pulls back to Christine driving off into the distance, her face in the rearview mirror, eyes weary but hopeful. The wind outside is blowing gently through the trees as if the world itself is whispering, "You did it." As the blackness envelopes the screen, Christine's voice lingers one final time in voiceover. Sometimes justice isn't about what the court decides. It's about deciding, finally, to stop waiting for an apology that will never come. Silence. Then quiet background music swells, bittersweet and soft. And before the credits roll,